Alright, let's talk about something boring. Something really boring for your Android phone. Antivirus. Yes, on your computer you have antivirus. Should you have antivirus on your phone? Well, strangely enough, if you have an Android, it's probably a good idea. Antivirus on your phone is not so much about infecting your phone with something that can then replicate, so much as it is about really dodgy apps that are just trying to steal your contact and address book, or, you know, start dialing your number when you're not around, or sending text messages. So, you know, things that run up bills or are generally a nuisance. Also, this particular app, it's AVG's one, will check your settings, see if there's anything that's a bit strange in there. Let's find out what it's found. Yeah, well, I have untrusted sources turned on. No surprise there, I have to test a lot of apps. But, yay, look, no problems. What it will also do is scan any app you download. So, if you download it and it looks like the permissions are a bit strange, or it's acting in a particular way that AVG have noticed is not really kosher, so to speak, it will basically warn you, and then you've got a choice to say, no, I'm actually not going to install that app then, which, you know, I'd probably say is quite a good idea, unless you want to give your address book away to some Chinese spammers anyway, which, you know, you might, if you're crazy. But there you go, there's AVG, antivirus free. Oh, it's free. And it stops really bad stuff happening to your phone. Although I have to say, if you have an iPhone, you don't actually have that problem, because Apple actually check the apps before they allow them on the store. Remember, Android is like the Wild West. As such, get yourself a virtual condom, i.e. some antivirus.
Norton's antivirus, and this is the light version. I have my misgivings with most Norton software, but it tends to be one of the most popular ones on the market, heavily promoted, etc. So on here you have anti-theft and anti-malware, as well as call blocking and web protection if you stump up for the full version. So you can set up anti-theft, which allows you to send SMS messages. I'm not going to give them my details. And the anti-malware, which allows you to scan all of the stuff on your phone and have a look if you've got anything dodgy on there that needs to be removed. Presumably it also keeps an update on any APKs you download as well, checks those before they actually let you install. Certainly seems to be taking a while. As with anything when you're downloading for Android, just be aware of the source, as it were. You know, there's an awful lot of really great apps out there, but there's also plenty of apps out there that are looking to steal data, etc. You know, just be aware of the permissions the app is using, etc. Don't go downloading APKs off the web, you know, especially not if it's a leading game that happens to have been hacked or cracked. Most likely someone's stuck a bit of malware in there as well. There you go. No malware found, hooray! It's a very basic app from Norton. They seem to really want you to go in and spend some extra money. Not a right lot of settings. That's quite useful. Outgoing notifications, presumably any time. Yeah, ongoing notifications even. Why would I want to know that Norton's sitting there running, using up my memory? But anyway, that's Norton Antivirus for Android. Dr. Web Lite Antivirus for Android. Just like all antivirus applications on Android, provides your basic scanner, so you can check over all of your files, full scan or quick scan, or do a custom scan of particular locations. There's a monitoring system which protects for as you're downloading new apps, etc. Statistics, how many years it found, fixed, etc. and quarantined, and the actual quarantine itself, which will allow you to see any files that it's discovered that are dodgy and quarantine them if you need to. Actually, I think this is a better app than the Norton app, which I reviewed earlier. For my mind, there's a lot more in here for free. Let's have a quick do of the virus updates. That was very quick. Let's do a quick scan. Again, quite slow going, I'd say. Considering that's meant to be a quick scan, it seems to be having a pretty good look through every single file on my phone. I'd call that a bit of a fail then, actually. That's not quick scan at all. Actually, that region was wrong. Yeah, tap anywhere on the screen, it stops. Dr. Web, I'd call that a bug personally. Yeah, look. They've made the entire screen region the button. It's a great app, other than that slightly weird bug, which is slightly irritating. If you happen to have done the scan and then popped the phone in your pocket and nudged it, it wouldn't carry on scanning. It would just... with McAfee Mobile Security. Considered a... What? Well, there you go. I'm not overly chuffed about that, actually, McAfee. So I'm not going to review your app. I'm just going to put this up just as it is. At the end of the day, if you're trying to take people's phone numbers before you'll even let them use your app, for goodness sake, come on. There are better ways to encourage your customers and future customers to part with their personal information. Maybe let them into the app first, let them see what your app's all about, and then ask them if they'd like to give you some personal details. I mean, come on, McAfee. I've just reviewed 3 other apps there. Including Norton, who have one of the worst reps in the industry, and they haven't attempted to plunder some personal details from me before they've allowed me to use their app. McAfee, I am giving you a fail. 1 star, purely for turning up to the party. Asked for Android. Possibly, in my opinion, one of the best antivirus out there. It's up there with really AVG. For the free app, loads and loads and loads of features. You've got your virus scanner, a privacy advisor, you know, educating the user, app management, a web shield, SMS call filter, firewall, anti-theft, and obviously the ubiquitous settings. So you can tune everything exactly as you want it, password protect, etc. Turn off community IQ, I notice in there. Very good, very good. You've got your virus scanner. Let's give that a tap. One thing I always notice is these tend to be fairly slow in a lot of the antivirus apps that are out there, but Avast is really pushing through them. Doesn't seem to be taking too deep a look at things, which ultimately you don't need to anyway. You're only looking for things that are suspicious, not like analysing every single file and every single line of every file. That was really nice and quick. App management. Take a look at your running apps. What's currently going on in my system, etc. Very helpful. Call filtering. A reasonably good firewall, I found. Doesn't seem to get in the way too much, and you can set it at application